So today we're talking about criticism. Criticism is a very destructive type of behavior and even thought process. There really is no such thing as constructive criticism. Now, I was raised hearing people say that. You may have also been raised in that environment with that type of thought. But there is no such thing as criticism that is helpful. And I'm not trying to take an approach of like some kind of you know super left wing new age liberal type of everybody needs their safe space. And no, I'm just being totally brutally honest that there is no such thing. If you look at the psychology of criticism, which we will do today, we're going to see, simply put, that it destabilizes the ability to maintain control over your life. And so, in a nutshell, that's what it's all about. Criticism, even if it's done with good intention, consciously or unconsciously from either party, there is a shift, and there is instantaneously a defensive viewpoint that is projected, because criticism in its essence is saying, hey, you're telling me that I'm not doing something right. And when you tell someone to do something differently, or you're telling them that they're wrong, you are threatening their control in their life. You're basically saying, hey, you need to do it my way or our way because you're wrong. And so you're taking control from that person, and you're making them defensive, even though it may be with, once again, good intentions. Now, different people do different things in reaction to criticism. Some people, they withdraw and they depress, and that's how they regain control, because they can control their depressing. Some people get headaches, especially if they've been cleared of any type of physical medical issues, and they just have these spontaneous panic attacks, headaches, migraines, whatever, maybe joint pain. Arthritis is a real big one. Even chest pains, that they are self-created. It's obviously it's called psychosomatic complaints, but you can create your own symptoms to regain control when you are lacking control in your life. And criticism can cause you to want to be defensive. It causes you to feel like, if you allow it, to feel like you're losing control in your life. So once again, people depress to get a sense of control back. Some people, they anger, angering. It's the active form of that word, angering, which is they get ticked off. But for most people, they depress because it's more socially acceptable, and there's less that can go wrong than angering. Other people are confrontational and so forth. So, you have a wide range of reactions. But once again, criticism is taking control or threatening control from someone else. And so just don't do it. And what is even more destructive, though, than you criticizing someone else, especially if you're in a relationship and you want to maintain that, it's a very bad thing. It's probably one of the top reasons, ultimately speaking, that really puts in and just kills a relationship, especially if you're in a committed relationship. It's a very big part of the divorce process, is the criticism, obviously. So you don't want to feed into that. But the worst thing you can do is to criticize yourself. And self-criticism is probably the worst, because where else can you go? You're already in your head, and you're taking control from yourself instead of empowering yourself. And so you're destabilizing your situation emotionally, physically, everything. And so your body and your mind has to figure out new behaviors to overcome this. And once again, most people default into a depressing type of behavior. They withdraw. Some people anger, of course, and in other situations, they may do different things. But there's also, of course, other behaviors that can be a lot more productive. And so when you criticize yourself and you take control from yourself, you minimize your ability to become aware of all of the other choices to overcome that problem that you're actually having to deal with. And so instead of using your mental and physical resources to try to combat the loss of control in your life, you can simply use that to overcome the actual real problem, get to the core of it, overcome it, and move on in life. And so hopefully this small video is helpful. Don't criticize other people, and especially don't criticize yourself. And once again, there is no such thing as constructive criticism. I hope everyone's well. You guys take care. Catch you later.